and your master's level students. Woo! All right. Hugh, are we streaming? You want to confirm that? Okay. All right, starting the recording. Good morning. This is our midterm milestone review of the UAT Game Studios. I'll fix my camera here. So, without further ado, we've got 7 teams. 8 total joining us today, so we're going to move through rather quickly, and we're going to start with Guardians Legacy. Come on up there.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing today? Yeah, it's a build day. It's the usual. All right. Well, what we've gotten done, we put an emphasis on getting ready to put everything into build and get stuff ready for... Where is that button? Always... There it is. It's like the bottom middle.
Projector. Keep trying.
There you go.
We put an emphasis on trying to get a lot of our mechanics ready to implement in other places. As you know, just creating a mechanic doesn't make it ready for implementation through your entire game world, and you end up putting a lot of problems trying to get all that set up and ready. So some of the biggest things we've done is getting our loading structure and a lot of areas such as our settings and getting all of that fleshed out, along with getting stuff implemented into our overworld. So if we go and check some of our other areas, we'll see we've started to get content. We've been trying to flesh out areas as we go, and we've started integrating enemies into those areas to then do what they need to do, and they are able to be used for initiating combat. Along with this, we have our puzzle aspect now into other areas of our game to allow us to traverse the overworld. Along with this, we've been doing a lot of back-end stuff where we're starting to get fleshed out content for other areas and try to make it so that you can actually play through a quest and a level and start to really get that full core play experience together, along with making sure everything behind the scenes is set up for us to just produce content without any problems overall. Along with this, we've been starting to get some of our graphics set up and in with toon shaders amongst other things that we have not been able to implement fully yet, but we're working towards that. So I'll take it over to the team right now to talk about what they've contributed.
Good morning, everyone. Peter Devils, lead designer. This build, I've been tasked with implementing all of our new art from our artists.
Bish, lead designer. I basically worked on the starting village throughout this entire week. It should be ready to implement in the next build.
Zachary Lloyd, programmer. This sprint I finished up the movement system. Moving forward, I'm going to be working with the items.
Hi, Kieran's artist. I have been working on the new creature. I'm not sure if it's in build right now, but it's our flying snake is finished, and he's lovely, and I love him.
Other than that, that's all we really have this time around. Thank you very much.
Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome back. This is Project Techno Season 2. What is Project Techno again? For those who have forgotten, it's a rhythm racing game. We've been working on this for quite a long time now, but enough about that and more about what we're proud to show off. Of course, going into development, I keep showing this off time and time again, but I'm really proud of what we get accomplished throughout the days and throughout the weeks and months. And to better show that off, we made a new video showing off the new assets and core functionality and making sure the game actually works and is fun for all. Going in, we have finally revived the loading screen, not only to load in but to load out of the game. And we have a new menu, something to show off, showing off character selection, how it should be done. Although it's not fully implemented, we do have it in, because we want to make sure that when the players are going in, they can they feel more connected to the player that they chose, whether it be driver or DJ. And talking more about that, going into game, we do have functionality and better rhythm for the DJ itself. As you can see, me trying to accomplish some sort of rhythmic pattern. Not the best, but still trying. On time, on beat, and it does provide echolocation. And we fixed that sort of slow radius to be more pulsing. Going into that. Instructions menu, finally working, finally back. That way players aren't lost on how to work the game. Into that, we do have more vehicles. We've added another vehicle, if I can actually turn around. So we do have another vehicle. It is a van, and I'm proud to show that off. But rather than talk about that, let's talk about each individual piece that my team made.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, designer for Project Techno. As promised, you probably saw in the video that we do have a character vehicle select. I did work with our 2D and 3D artists because the initial console was something a little bit different, but I worked with them. They gave me pointers and ideas, and this may not be the final version of it. I may be working on it a little bit more until I flesh out a little bit more. So probably keep that, probably look out for that in the future, but as for right now, this is what we have. Thank you.
Greetings, I'm John, one of the artists, the 3D artist. I made those cars that you saw earlier. Fully modeled, textured, rendered, ready to go.
Hello, I'm Natalie Johnson. I'm the 2D artist. I worked on the game UI, the splash screen. I also worked on the new character cards for the character selection screen. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Harry Steer, game programmer. I worked on a system to give us a more complex playing field for the rhythm game, and also added a multiplier, and I also incorporated the pulse.
Good morning. My name is Hakeem Ali. I'm the advanced computer science and game design student for this team. I work on, well, the cause collision to make sure that it doesn't flip around when we actually run into a sort of barricade. I also worked on the transition to and from the instructions menu. I worked on the restart functionality for the maps, and that's pretty much it.
So I'm Tyler, one of the designers, and I had started on a new map with a more open desert, abandoned, like convenience store type style, and that's pretty much it.
I'm Keith, I'm a programmer. The biggest thing I'm focused on is power-ups. For example, like a speed boost. We're starting to do some more stuff for the DJs now that the beat system's been worked out. And then I'm like to perfect the pulse and get it a little more realistic so you don't see so much and it doesn't give you too big of an advantage.
Alright. Now that you're talking about that, of course, we're always here, we're always out in the Commons working hard, and we would love for you to come see our build out in the Commons. And for those who can't, remember that we're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at these following tags. Thank you for your time.
Hey, so I know I'm not Christian, but Christian unfortunately couldn't be here today, so I'm taking over the presentation for today. I am V. I'm the lead designer for the team, and we actually have quite a bit of new stuff in here. I'm going to let this video show pretty much everything that we were managed to get in. So one of the first things that you'll notice is we have a overlay for when you take damage. Right now it's just hotkeys that perform it. The other thing that our programmers got in is not only a working menu that you can close using a button, but individual objects having their own inventory with stackable items. And of course our collectible items are still stackable in our own inventory. And let that play out. Kind of show that off a little bit. And then one of the other things that you'll notice if you look far enough behind, there actually are new enemies. They're no longer just little tiny things or humans. They're the dog, the main villain, if you could say, of our game. And there we're showing off the new jump and vaulting mechanic. And while we're running away, just to show that the chase scene is getting more like terrifying with the dogs, and as the dogs develop and become more and more gruesome. So of course we still have our horde mode. This is just a fun little thing to show off how the AI works in a big crowd and what happens if you get stuck. And this is just showcasing all the art that a lot of the artists worked on, the two different versions of the dog, one without flesh and one with flesh, little chicken wings, as well as the environment, some in the actual build itself and some yet to be implemented that we're still working on how and where. And then those are the arms that we're going to work on getting for the UI for the first-person camera. And as this continues on, I'm going to turn it over to my team over there.
Hi, I'm Desiree. I am one of the artists. Primarily, I focus on working on environmental assets. So, as the video showed in the art showcase, I did a lot of the modular walls and some of the. I also did the trees and things like that. Moving forward, I'm probably going to be continuing on with environmental art along with whatever I need to make for the game. I'm not too sure. But yeah, that's about it.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm another artist on Madison Arts. This milestone, I've been primarily working on creating the dog or the hound, which is shown on the roof. Moving forward, I'm going to be continuing working on making him a little more terrifying because currently he's lacking teeth, and that's pretty important if you want to be scared by something that usually has teeth. So other than that, I'll be primarily focusing on creating more UI and getting a lot of 2D assets finished and implemented.
One of the other things, Zach, our programmer, he worked really hard with me working on the overlay and making sure that it didn't just mess everything up, which it did at first. That's a really funny story, so if you want to hear about that, and check out what we have, a secret little button specifically for playtesting today, if I can time the video right there. What's this? So definitely come check that out, as well as a lot of the other work our programmers did, including the vaulting system and the general menu navigation. Those were our programmers who unfortunately are not here as well. So definitely come check us out in the Commons for playtesting. Thank you.
Where are my peeps at? What version to choose? All right, we'll try our newest one and then hopefully this will work out. Okay. Hey everyone, I'm Jacqueline Hyman. I am the lead on Boss Simulator. We got so much done this last sprint. Music. Cool. So the main thing that we got done was our shaders. We have toon shading, and our artists got their models textured and started on environmental assets. Okay. That's fun. Okay. And I will let my team talk about some of the things that they got in, and I'll talk some more.
I'm a collecting programmer. This spring I got the semi-final game loop finished. So you can hire an employee with their yellow, they're idling, and you tell them to work, they'll turn green, and then they'll start making money. And then they also have a need, which if they run, currently it's just bladder, so if the bladder goes down below 25, they turn red and then they go to the bathroom. After they use the bathroom, they'll come back and then you can tell them to work again. And that's about it.
Hi, I'm Jason Johnson. Primarily, I just did some basic design role. Initially started with some generating income from the desks, but William and I worked on building some of the basic design methods for the needs system. So, thank you.
Hello, my name is Edgar Hernandez, and one thing that I worked on for this sprint is basically preparations to include doors and door animations for the next build.
Hello, my name is Marwan. I'm a designer. This past sprint, I worked on mobile design. I revamped the office. I made it smaller, made it more into scale with what we had to do, and I also worked with lighting inside the build.
Okay, that's all, everyone. So we do have a few people that can't be here today. So our two artists, so James and Caitlin, have been working tirelessly on our assets for the office. So they worked on the desks, the chairs, the computer, our cool water cooler. They got all of their texturing done for their models, which look awesome. I can't wait to get them moving around. And then Steven is also not here, but he'll be here a little bit later today. And he worked on getting our wind condition in and working with Will on just getting our main play loop in. I think this sprint we had a lot of roadblocks, but I'm really happy with like how we overcame them and what we got done. It looks so great. All right, thank you guys so much. There we go.
Is there a freeze button?
I have the build on there.
I'm pulling up the videos. I made it up.
Oh, yeah. Wait, it's streaming this, so make sure you're okay. Good.
If you want to
Can you unfreeze it?
Hello everyone, so this is the second build of Star Wave. We have started off with our main menu here, our starting screen. We actually worked on a Star Wave logo redesign and rehaul, so we just still have yet to implement that. But we have some angles going on here. We also have some other things to show as well. So here we actually redesigned our health bar, and we implemented the cog system, so you can collect as many collectibles as you can, and it will display right here. The more you have, the starlets that you will increase to upgrade the character's abilities as well. And then this is our newest level. It is Time City.
There are three rocks, floating rocks, that the player must traverse through in order to get what their goals are and to maneuver throughout the level. And we actually implemented a climb system right here. It still needs animated, but it's good for climbing ladders, climbing buildings, and so forth. And then we actually implemented a lock-on system. So if the player presses T, the player can lock onto an AI and really get a good combat system on them. So they can attack and maneuver quite well. We'll also be implementing a dodge system, sort of like Legend of Zelda, where the player can dodge right, dodge left, dodge backwards, and so forth. And you can also slay the AIs, as you can see, as they make a noise and disappear. And also, yes, and they can follow you as well and attack. And that little icon right above the head, that signifies that you are locked onto that AI. So, yeah. Alright, let's show off the videos. If you would like to go, Katie.
Yes. Hello, my name is Katie Morse. I'm the Scrum Master and designer for this team. For this level, on this rock, we decided we wanted it to be kind of like the capital of Time City. And for right now, I designed this building to be kind of chromish, to like kind of reflect like a more modern building. Also, with the platformers, thanks to Brian, I was able to rotate them. And also, you may notice that some of the platforms actually light up. That's because I want to kind of lead the player to the next platformer. And then I have 2 other buildings as well in this design level. And for the next one, I'm going to be developing like more things to it. But so you can see, like this is the second building. For this one, I kind of wanted it to be kind of on a blaze and on fire. This is going to be the start way for my second pathway through this level. And then this is the alleyway as well.
So yeah. Cool.
Hello guys, I'm Roman. I also did a good amount of level design. I went with a more linear path. I have a one part of my building textured and the other kind of just waiting to be textured. I decided to go with a green tint to try and lead the players instead of having the blue thing like Katie. I decided to also use a welcome sign. So because where I start off is going to be the very first part of the level. So one thing definitely want to work on for next milestone is fine-tuning the getting into this building, because as you can see, it's a little shaky. That's probably because of me partially being bad at platforming games. On top of that, yeah. So as you can see, I kind of went with the British grungy look. Wanted to go for a lot of hole-in-the-wall buildings. I'm also going to block off that area with non-enterable buildings. So, yeah, it's kind of just flowing with a interesting flow style where it's a lot of jumping through holes, jumping from platform to platform, and getting from, building to building. This next building is going to be like a rooftop scene, so it's going to be very interesting how this comes up.
And Tucker?
Well, I started out as a programmer on this team. I moved to the artist part. The assets I made were a particle effect, a bed, and I also worked on one of the animations, or at least helped with one of the animations for the treasure chest. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Ronan Nguyen. I am now the only programmer for
for this group. And what I've been worked on so far, two things. One is the lock on system. So every time you lock on the enemy, you're only focused in a fixed position for the enemy. Second, I've been working on the climbing mechanic. Doing that process, I had to use Maya for the animation. Even though I never used Maya before, but even though I'm not an animator, but I've been working on getting that done. And for this milestone, I'll be working on the dodge system or whatever tasks I be on Trello. And as of right now, Toggle's not a program no more, but that keeps me hungry and busier. So I'm happy to see what the next milestone will be like.
And we also have had our online student Christopher Olson contribute a lot to more of the development of the AI and more of the functions that the AI features as well. With that being said, thank you all.
Just before we go, I definitely invite everyone to come out and try our build for play testing. I feel like you're going to be a little bit blown away.
Bless.
That is pretty funny. We think it's hilarious that you freeze the screen so that this room can't see what you're typing, but I'm live streaming this on YouTube.
Oh. Oh, well.
We don't care about them, but
I had no idea. Well, I might as well just go ahead and unfreeze it then. Hello, everybody. Nice to be back and show you guys the next installment. What you see right over here is our current second half of the first level. So it's the foresty version, not the city part that you were seeing before. These were designed by our newest designer, Harrison, and he did a pretty good job. It's working well, looks spooky enough, at least for me. We also have some new models in for the main character, and some weapons to go with our combat system that we actually did implement, but there are no animations in place for it right now, so we can't show the actual animations working with them. But as of now, this is a run-through of the new level that we have in. I'm going to hand it off to my team so that I can tell you what they did for this sprint.
This week I finally got into build. So in editor I've been polishing up the first half of the level, which is going along pretty well. Hopefully I can get that into a decent playable game by next sprint.
Hello, I'm Harrison. I'm a designer for Ciphers. What I worked on was making sure the terrain looked nice in 1.2, as well as adding pathways that the player would be able to traverse, and I also added in the trees, and I'll be working on adding in more trees to make it look more flush and finished.
Hello everyone, my name is Ben Richardo. I'm a programmer. I've been working on getting us away from our terrible tank controls and moving on to root motion and getting most of our animations working.
Hello, I'm Jacob Merrickson. I'm a programmer. I was working on the basic combat system, so making it so that the player could actually hit and kill enemies. And now I'm going to be fixing up our stealth so that you can actually sneak around and stuff like that.
I'm Diamond. I'm a programmer. I was working on the player health system, and now I'll continue working on the enemy health system.
I'm Kenny, an artist. I worked on the various weapons that would be implemented into the game and started textures on buildings.
Hello, I'm John. I'm 3 artist on Siphoners. I worked on the player character, got the high polyscope out and ready. Just gotta get the low polyscope finished up.
Special thanks to our online member, Ashley Bangs, and our subcontractors, too. Thank you for all the help that you put in, even though you're not in the class. And thank you all for listening. All right.
Trying like not to block the screen, but. Put that one there. Hopefully it'll be fine. Fun stuff. Alright, cool. So, I can step around here. Hello, I'm Darren Palermo. I'm project lead for Escape Room AR. Why does it gotta do this stuff? Come on, just let me show the thing. I should probably make my phone like...
Nope.
It's gone. Oh, it doesn't want me doing full screen mode. Alright, that's fine. We don't gotta do full screen mode. I'll just, like, trash. Last time it let me get away with that. I did. I cheated last time. Alright. Good enough for me. Make it not nighttime mode. I can see it. A little grainy. Cool. So, we're Escape Room AR. Last 3 weeks, we were working on getting in all the... Cool. Last week we were working on getting all the Oracle puzzles ready and some of the Oracle mechanics. So if I launch in, we have a new class system, and this allows us to pick the starting items for a class. So right now I kind of mix the two classes just so we still have both abilities. We're working on getting the multiplayer set up so that we could separate it, where one person will have the little beam thing, and one person gets this fancy lens. So this fancy lens is also a new thing. If I come over to here, we have a beautiful picture of Kalana. I can kind of straighten out a bit. And right now, as a normal player, I can't really read the text on it. But if I take my little lens on it, I can decode it and look at the message hidden under it. So, if we read our message closely, we can see the time we need to solve one of the puzzles later. Now we have a new drawer system, so I can open and close drawers to search through them. And then one drawer. Oh no. We have an ad.
Skip ad.
X. Go back.
It is good to back your work up, though.
So, now we have an item that I got from this little drawer here. So, one of our bigger assets is this huge clock. And then we have a really tiny mouse NPC at the bottom. If I hand him the cheese, let's see, I'm like bending over and stuff, he'll hand me back a key, and then I can put the key in the keyhole on the clock, and that will open it up. So, we have that you could grab the hands of the clock and rotate them. It still needs to be worked on a bit, but that's supposed to go to a puzzle where you can set the hands of the clock into a certain time and it will open up this little cage with the gem in it for you. But that is most of what we have to show for right now. I'll hand it off to my team to talk about what they were working on. Oh wait, one more thing, sorry. We also have NPC dialogue when I click on the mouse, and if it will pop back up. No, there we go. He's supposed to give me dialogue, but I think I had one of the options set to where the text speed is like super slow, so it's only showing like a letter at a time every 15 seconds. But I think in the comments we could just tweak that real quick and get that working for that presentation. So now I'll hand it off.
Hi, I'm Jose Espinosa. I was a programmer and I was working on the NPC, the UI and text. So whenever you press on the mouse or whatever, the text goes out. So if you see before, there was a continue button. So whenever you click on it, he's gonna talk. So that players cannot just go continue, 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 continue. So they should read before just pressing continue, then they don't know what they're doing. So I was working on that, and next I'm trying to flesh out the rotation for some mechanics. But other than that, that's it.
Hello, I'm Ross Hall, a programmer. I worked on the org lens for showing the text behind textures, and then I also worked on hitting the key to activate the lock.
Hello, I'm Clown Lee, lead designer. What I worked on was narrative design for the characters, so now each character has a story to why they're in the room, along with the NPC dialogue for what it wants to tell you, and I also managed to kind of get it built for us on iOS.
I'm Raul Montes, one of the designers with them. This build, I worked with what the mouse was saying and the hint on the painting and white boxing the size of the assets so you can see how big they were.
Hello, I'm Lindsay Boggs, lead artist. For this build, I worked on the oracle lens, the painting, the key, there's actually a clock crank as well, and then the inventory icons and the target images. Oh, and the desk. Sorry. Good.
My name's Ruth Lewis, and I made the grandfather clock and the textures for the grandfather clock and coordinate all the rest of it within the game part.
Great, so that's all we have to show for this build. Thank you for watching.
Garrett, do you have any of your teams showing today?
Yeah, we'll wrap up the stream. We'll do that.
Well done. Kudos to all of you, master's level students and online students. Thank you for joining us today. Exciting how much progress that everybody got done. Give yourself a round of applause. This is exciting. All right, thank you. We'll see you on the sprint planning.